In today's video, we're gonna be talking about dating for guys. I'm gonna be giving you 5 dating tips that can really help you out on your next date, whether that's in 2 hours or tomorrow, because maybe just like me, you skipped that phase. I had a girlfriend for almost 5 years and I never did the whole dating phase. So getting out of that is something new. And let me tell you, I didn't know how to approach it. I was kind of insecure even going on my first date after 4 years of being in a relationship with somebody. So the reason for this video is that I want you to have an amazing date. And I've compiled 5 of the best tips that I personally put to practice so that you can have a great date coming up. And if you were probably like me and after a long time you're starting to date again, or you never did it, it could be something new. You feel a little anxious, feel a little nervous, and it's normal, okay? So let me give you some tips that can really help you out. The first being, pick the perfect place. The reason for this one is because it will set the tone of the whole date. I'm gonna tell you what not to do, and then I'm gonna tell you what to do. The first thing that I made a mistake when I was young is going to a place where you cannot even talk to the girl. For example, the theater. When you go there, you grab a movie, you get the popcorn, and you just don't talk. You're just watching the movie for the next 2 hours without having any communication. You're just eating your popcorn. It's super weird. The date just goes wrong and it just doesn't make sense. So avoid the movies. Do not go to the movies for the first date. It's something that you will regret forever, just like I did, because I had no conversation with the girl, couldn't look at her. I had to just sit there for 2 hours watching that thing. And overall, at the end of the movie, we were just talking about it, but we never really got to talk. And she had to go, and it was already 2 hours, and time went by. So I never really got to actually know her and interact with her, which, yeah, kind of sucked, but it's just what happened. Also, another one that I don't think you should do, me personally, is a fancy restaurant. The reason for it being is that, look, on any date that you go, some you're gonna click, some you're not gonna click, okay? And if you go to a fancy restaurant, most likely what's gonna happen, if you don't click within the next 20-30 minutes, you're pretty much stuck for the next hour and a half just having food. And then at the end of the date, you're gonna have to even pay for the date. I don't suggest it all the time. I really try to stay away from that. I personally think that you should definitely do an activity. So an activity doesn't have to be crazy. Again, I personally, I suggest go for a coffee, mini golf, go karting. You can do maybe an escape room. Those things like that are very cool because you can actually get to know the person. You can communicate, problem solve, see how she handles certain situations, and vice versa. She can actually see how you kind of do them too, right? So I suggest an activity. Again, doesn't have to be crazy. Just look for an activity around your town, your city. Now that you've picked a spot and you've told her what day and time, and as a guy, you should set the tone for that. Tell her what day, what time she's available. Ask her that. Make sure you set that up properly, whether it's through call or through text. Once you get to the place, don't forget about the little details. I think guys just always forget about this, and it's something that I don't see a lot anymore. But offer, to open the door for her. Little things like that just make a big difference. I think, guys, again, don't be ashamed to do this. It's literally something that just, again, a gentleman should be doing. And I believe that every guy, it's whether she's going to the restaurant, opening the door for her, pulling the chair for her, these little details go a long way, let me tell you that. Number 2, dress well. You've picked the place, the activity, whatever you're doing. I need you to dress properly for the occasion, okay? If it's winter, make sure you have a good winter outfit. If it's summer, make sure you have a good summer outfit. And of course, whatever the activity it is you were doing. For example, when I tell you I went on a second, almost third date with a girl, I went business casual because we were going to a good restaurant downtown where I live. And obviously it was a bit more fancy, a little bit more bougie, you can say. So yeah, make sure you dress properly. I personally don't want to tell you what to wear, and everybody's style is different. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what to wear. But if you want me to make a video about that, I can definitely do so. I've done outfits before in the past. I'll even put some examples here on the video so you can take a look and you can see, maybe you can get some inspiration for myself. But again, depends on the activity, depends where you're going. Make sure you, again, dress properly. Don't make the mistake of going out and buying an outfit the day before to try to impress the girl, because if it's something that you don't usually wear, maybe you think she might like this and try to make a first good impression. Okay, cool. But the next date, you might not have something to wear. So she's probably going to be like, oh, he just wanted to do that and buy for this time, but he doesn't really actually look like this all the time. Again, don't try to be someone you're not. Pick stuff from your closet. If you don't have a certain item and maybe you're trying to put maybe some actual, outfit inspiration, okay, then maybe just buy one item and then, try to put everything else together from your closet. You don't have to go and spend a lot of money, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to look good and, actually get clothes that fit you properly. A lot of guys tend to overlook this, but realistically, it's all in your body and the way, if you actually, work out, if you take care of yourself, clothes, any clothes will look good on you, okay? Whether it's a tank top, whether it's a t-shirt, whether it's a long sleeve, a suit, okay? Make sure it's tailored. Make sure it doesn't have any tears or bad odor in it as well too. I think guys don't even look at that stuff, but trust me, girls, they pay attention to every single little detail, okay? And when I tell you that she can spot if your t-shirt was worn yesterday or a night before, maybe you were wearing it to some party or something, she will catch on to that. So I highly suggest that you have good clean clothes and that they're not smelling bad and they're not torn or have anything on them that can show like that you don't care about your appearance. Number 3, conversation. This is very, very important and very crucial. When you're talking to a girl, I think you have to stop putting her on a pedestal, okay? A lot of guys tend to see and look at this girl like, oh my God, she's beautiful, she's amazing, she's gorgeous. But don't forget, she has feelings and emotions just like you, okay? She's probably thinking maybe too, like, oh my God, like I'm kind of nervous, like this is my first date too, or I don't know what to tell him, I really like him. So don't assume that, she's higher than you, okay? Don't put your mindset like she's all this and all that and you think less of yourself. When you're talking to a girl, think of it like talking to a friend, I would say. Okay, when you see her, of course, greet her. It could be something as simple as following up with, how was your day? Or what did he do today? If it's in the middle of the day, you can say, oh, what do you have going on for the weekend? Or what are you doing this week? And she will open up about a lot of things, I'm pretty sure. Vice versa, if she asks you, what are you doing? You can tell her, I'm doing this that day. Or you can talk about your friends. You can talk about things that may be happening in your job. I really think you just have to think outside the box and ask open-ended questions. That's all. And of course, with any conversation, you shouldn't be the only one talking, okay? Don't be that person, the one who just is pretty much carrying the conversation all the time, just the one talking about himself and what you've done, what you've achieved. Like your ego sometimes just takes over, and I get it. So trust me, it has happened to me in the past. But try to catch yourself and avoid doing that, okay? Confidence is one thing, and ego and being arrogant, and it's a complete different thing, okay? So try to make sure you stay away from that. Being confident and respectful are very, very important. And again, going back to the topic, if you're the one talking all the time, then for sure, again, you can kind of sense that maybe she's just not interested, or maybe she doesn't have much going on and maybe she's not the right person for you, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Again, this is the whole reason why you're dating. Lastly, something that is very important, I don't even think I have to mention this, but put your phone away and listen. If you are going on a date, give her the time and the energy, be present, listen to what she's actually saying to you, and then you can bounce back from any things that she tells you. Pay attention. And if you want to use a tactic that sometimes I use in dating, it's called mirroring. So really pay attention and listen and really evaluate things. For example, if she tells you maybe, my family and I are very close, you can mirror that actually, and you can say, your family and you are very close. And then she'll expand and say, yeah, maybe we do this every single Monday, or maybe we do this every single weekend. You can say, oh, cool. Is that like a family tradition? See, like things like that you can expand on, which brings me now to my 4th point, little details. I talked about this in the first point, but I would just want to mention them again because, again, they're very little, but they make such a huge difference when you're on the date, okay? Number 1, smile. Offer to pick her up. Pull the chair for her. Open the door for her. And of course, offer to pay the bill. As a guy, and I believe so too, I am very traditional. You have to pay for the first date, no matter what it is, okay? Again, you are the one that asked her out, so go and pay for that bill and take care of it. Make sure it doesn't have to be that awkward moment where she's gonna be asking, so are we splitting the bill? That should not happen on the first date. Again, avoid your phone at all times. Make sure throughout the date, your phone, you shouldn't be texting, you shouldn't be looking at it, you shouldn't be scrolling through social media. That's time that you actually dedicated for her, and vice versa too. If you see that from her, make sure that, it's something that you pick up on. You say, okay, maybe, in this date, something's not right, and she's maybe not actually that interested and fully invested in me because she'd rather scroll through her phone and look at it than actually be having a proper conversation with you. And the last thing that I want to mention is something that I think just a lot of people struggle with, even myself, I did in the beginning, eye contact. Eye contact is very, very important, okay? And the more you actually give it to a girl, the more she can sense that you're very confident, that you can actually look at her when you're talking, that your points and the things that you're trying to tell her are very important. And if she looks away sometimes, that just kind of means that you're kind of making her a little nervous sometimes. So yeah, just be careful with that. But again, very important when you're talking to somebody, say their name, look at them in the eyes, smile, be kind. These things are, again, they're very simple, but again, they make the date way better. You know, be good to the waiter, be good to the bartender, and you really have to be genuinely a good, kind-hearted person. Trust me, I totally get it. These are, you know, a lot of things that you might be thinking, shit, like I have to think of all this, but generally they should just be you as a person, okay? You shouldn't be an asshole to anybody. You shouldn't be arrogant. You shouldn't be disrespectful. As a guy, you really have to strive for excellence. And I'm just trying to make sure you present yourself well to the date and even to the world. Now, number 5, the next steps. Do I continue or do I not? So I really want you to evaluate the first date, especially if it's a first date after so long. You might think, oh my God, this is the one. I really have to be with her. This girl, she is everything to me and that's all, period. No, okay, relax, man. It's the first date, okay? You don't really know her at all. You made one impression, she made one impression too as well. Maybe she tried really hard to make sure she really makes a big impact in your life and that you see her as someone that's possibly going to be with you forever. But it's the first date. You cannot say, this is the one, I'm gonna close off myself from dating, I'm not gonna see any more girls. No, it should not be like that, okay? I suggest that you, I think, at least go on 3, if not 5 dates before you actually think of that. And again, rushing to see her right away, can I see you next week? Can I see you tomorrow? No, okay? Relax, my dude. It's important that you actually, you know, evaluate everything that went through the dates, take a step back the next day, you know, really think about, okay, how did it go? What did I like? What did I not like? How did I feel in certain moments, you know? And if you did feel good and if you think there's a chance, keep going. No, nothing wrong. But just don't rush it and say, can I see you tomorrow? Can I see you the other day? No, okay, relax. Just maybe plan next weekend to maybe see her or throughout the week, but make sure you give it some time. Now, well, you might be asking, Kevin, how do you do that? Okay, simple. Look, you text her, hey, so-and-so, I really had a great time. I really enjoyed the date. I would like to see you again. Are you available next week? This time, this day. And if she says, no, I'm not available that time, that day, she'll probably make up another day and time for it. And look, if you send her that text and she responds with the opposite, she says, maybe, you know, I didn't really enjoy the date. Thank you so much for your time. No problem. You move on. That's it. It's that simple because you actually offered it. You made the date, you made the plan, but she said no. That's totally fine. So there you go. I really think as a guy, again, if you have been dated in a very long time and you're just getting into it, take your time. Don't rush with every girl, okay? Take your time, really get to know the person, really get to know her, her morals, her values, where she's standing, where is she going, her goals, how ambitious is she? And as a guy too, you should be having things going for yourself. You know, don't put your whole life on stop just for this person, okay? There's a lot more to it. Again, really, really deeply meet some people, especially if you haven't dated after so long. If you've never done it like myself too, and I recently got into it too, because once you've done a couple dates here and there, then you can kind of see and evaluate, what do you like from this person? What do I like from that person? What do I like from this person? So it's easier once you do that. But there you go, there you have it. I really hope these help you. These are things that I applied on every single date that I've been on. And let me tell you that they've been pretty successful. Some girls, again, we just didn't connect. We just didn't vibe. We just didn't click. Some things were just not right. Some things I liked, some things I didn't. And leave some mystery here and there sometimes too. Understand that, again, the first date is to get to know her a little bit, but not tell her everything and come off this person, you know, who has all this. And maybe you do. Maybe you have a good amount of money saved. Maybe you have some things going for yourself. That's amazing. Good for you. But don't reveal them right away on the first date, especially, okay? These are things that you have to kind of just show throughout the dates. And eventually you can, once you really see that this person's the one and you think, oh, she's it, okay, then maybe you can talk about it. But on the first date, you do not want to just show your cards right away, okay? And that's happened to me before, and I've attracted the wrong kind of girls. But here I am telling you everything that I've done so that you can have a successful next date. So if you enjoyed this video and you want me to make another video about maybe 5 conversation starters or how to dress on the first date, leave a comment down below, subscribe and like the video, and I'll try to make it next time. Take care.